One thing I discovered was that we were both mentored by someone who's a legend in South Africa, a radio legend.
Nighttime radio, I think we are sleeping on it, but it has a huge audience, man.
People are listening.
People are listening. That's where you have your great topics about umjolo and stuff, you know? The reason why I'm saying you need to be accessible, it's very hard to interview someone you don't know.
Oh, yeah. Even noma ngaba dope kanjani.
Even if it's a good song, man.
You asked me this question on your show, and I'm going to ask you the very same question on this show.
Why are you copying questions? You asked me earlier on, Uguti, what are your thoughts about politics? I'm like, dude, I don't even entertain politics.
Yes.
Like, I don't even care about them. You know? And imagine how many other people, young people, think the same way. You know? Like, we feel, especially as youth, we feel like we don't matter anymore.
Guys, let's get some energy. Peace to the gods and peace to the earths, and welcome to another episode of the Eastrand Podcast Files. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is DoubleM. This is season 4 of the Eastrand Podcast Files, and we really appreciate having you on board. And as you know by now, we are the home of the Trailblazers, where we get to hang with them and give them their flowers whilst they can still smell them. And today on the show, we have a trailblazer by the name of Elijah Phahlane, affectionately known as the youngest of radio, who is a voice-over artist, a digital marketer, a model, and a radio presenter, and he joins us on the show. Mfoka Phahlane.
How's it, DoubleM?
I'm well, and how are you?
Good, man. It's good to be here, man.
Yes, thank you for joining us on the show, my brother. Finally.
Anytime. Thank you.
Now, mina nyakena uthami, you know, I've known you for quite some time.
Yeah.
But for the viewer, ongakwazi mfethu, who is Elijah?
Elijah is a shy guy.
Shy guy.
Yeah, shy. Loves music so much. Very funny guy as well.
Yes.
I like to be in a room where people just laugh, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I like to ask questions a lot, of which is what I do.
That's why you are on radio, yeah.
Yeah, so with me asking questions is just to develop myself, you know?
All right, okay.
So, yeah, it makes me think in a different way.
Yes.
Maybe hear different views, you know? So I just, yeah, I'm that type of guy, you know? I just love listening to people, what they have to say.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, whenever I get on radio, that's when I have to say
Oh, yes, yeah.
my piece,
Yes,
you know?
yeah.
So yeah, that's the type of guy, man. Very normal.
So where are you from? Are you from Tsakane, Guatemala, Duduza? Where are you from?
You know, I actually brought you here at Kaslami because I know you from Metema.
Yes.
I brought you here at Tsakane. One of my favorite spots, man. This is Barbeque Assembly.
Oh, yes,
I love this. I love this joint, man.
Yes, yeah.
Very chilled. The people here, the vibes, the events, like it's nice, man. But I'm originally from here at Tsakane. So yeah, I've been here ever since.
How was your upbringing? Because nyazi ndoda ukuthi you're a sucker for good radio, just like me.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
like, tell us more about that. How when did you discover Guti, this is your passion, and how was your upbringing as well?
Okay, my upbringing. So I'm the only guy at home.
Okay.
Both from Taima,
Old lady,
you know.
Okay.
So I'm surrounded by girls at home.
All
you know?
right. Okay.
Like, oh man, what's going on?
You must
here?
be getting lots of love, hey?
You know, actually, it's nice because you know how you understand women. You know?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
With that, man, you wamnandi when it comes to, you know.
So are you
asking
the
a girl
are
out?
you, I assume we last born or somewhere.
No, not even last born, man. First and last born Gumachita, but second of last.
Okay.
In total, yeah.
All right, yeah. And then your passion for radio?
Passion for radio, oh man, it's a funny story. So njengoba ngisho ukuthi I didn't love I'm in love with music,
yes,
right?
Yeah, sure.
So back then I didn't love music. I used to love TV a lot. So I would watch TV, I would watch awards, I would watch soapies. I would watch everything about TV. I would know every program.
Because like you said in your intro, you were curious. You were this curious kid. So I'm sure watching TV, you're curious.
You know? So the TV set eventually broke.
Oh.
So this guy, Ulungisa, comes back. Same thing, I watch it like 24/7, man. Yeah, puga food, you know. My mom is like, no, I'm going to So the only thing that was at home was Technique. Technique, the
Technique, yes,
and then it has the radio part,
yes,
you know?
yeah.
So, that's the only entertainment set that's at home right now.
TV Pugi.
TV Pugi.
Oh, now you're listening instead of watching.
I'm listening, you know.
How old were you?
By then I was still in primary, man. 12, 13.
Yeah, still young.
Around about that time. And then that's when my DJing career started, man. I was like, okay, let me listen to some music. I want to become a DJ and stuff, you know? So now with radio, I was like, you know what? I've got this thing, Guti. So in primary, I was given a speech, a prepared speech, right? We had a trip. We had to go to Joburg Zoo, and then when we come back, do a speech about it, you know?
Mara, why were you chosen to give a speech? Why?
No, everybody did it. So the first round, everybody did it. Ne? So everybody does it. I stand in front of the class. I do it. Everybody is laughing. Like even the teachers laugh. She can't even mark me. Ati, I want you to do that very same speech on Friday in front of the whole school. Go assembly. I'm like,
what? Speechless. Why did everyone laugh and why did she want you?
I think I will say it ngeskasi. Mina bengibona ma offside kule trip.
Okay.
Like you'd see animals. I remember there was a monkey ass tunusela masfiga. So I made a joke about that as well, you know. So come Friday when I have to do the speech in front of
the
assembly
whole
school,
now.
Man. Like the assembly, man. I did it. Same thing happens. But I was scared. Like I had this phobia of mic. I felt like it's a feedback. Someone is talking.
Yes.
So I had that fear. I was like, you know what? Let me face this fear. Let me join radio. Let me do, you know. Microphone. So that's how radio started.
All right. And you were in primary school by then.
So when I discovered which I have this fear, I was already in grade 8, 9. So it's in high school.
Okay, now you were in high school. And then let's go back a bit. The love for music. Who was most influential? Because when I'm at school in Makaya, if ngizotanda something like music, this person, either my father or my mother or my brother, also influential. Who was that person to you?
Or
maybe out here next door.
I would say both parents, man. Like my parents are deep into classic music, old school music. But with me, I would listen to a 90s track and find the original. Of the track.
All right.
So that's the curiosity coming out.
Yes,
it's okay.
Yes.
There's this Marvin Gaye track or there's this Black Coffee track, but it dates back to 1960, you know?
Yeah.
So doing that research, you find even lots more music.
I'm also into music, and I would agree because music omningi vele mawuziphi isikhathi to do your homework, you would find ukuthi these are remixes. Yes, these are remakes,
you know,
of the songs that were done before. I would agree with that. But now, Ndota, tell me about this. You know, reading on your profile, and as I was in your radio show, you invited me on your radio show last year. There's something I picked up. You kept mentioning it, and nago profile yako nyayibona ukuthi you tell us about this youngest of radio, especially in the country.
I remember saying this to one of my lectures. She was teaching me social media with radio. Okay. She's like, why are you calling yourself youngest of radio? Do you know how many kids are on radio right now in the whole country? So with that name, youngest of radio, when I joined EK, I was 15 by that.
When was that? What year was
in 2015. So everybody knows the age by now.
Guys, 2015, he was 15 years old. And that's when he joined EKFM. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I joined, obviously it's like older people.
Of course. At 15, bruh.
I'm the only teenager. I think the second youngest was someone who was 25, 22, around about that age. So I've realized that each and every space that I'm at, whether it's radio, whether it's voiceovers, whether it's what.
Nala said that you're the youngest. Yes. When I look around.
Wait, how old is your crew?
No, Nala said. Let me check.
Wow, I'm the last one.
No, you still the last born.
You see, that's how the youngest of radio name came about.
Yes, yeah.
So everywhere, man. I used to attend workshops. I would be the youngest kid Bayana with people who are like 35 and they still want to join radio. And with them, like, I'm here, like, I'm scared, like, I'm meeting these big people. They're out. I'm like, hey, okay. So I every space where I'm at, I'm literally the youngest person there. Yeah.
Tell us about that. I want to go back to that experience. 2015, EKFM. Were you not scared?
I was. At first,
who was coaching you with relax? This is how you need to do things.
Yeah. So by that time, Smash, we were close. He used to come at home. He's a family friend, you know. And then immediately when I heard he's on radio, I was like, dude, I want to try this, you know. And he's like, no, you're joking, man. You're still young. Like, hey, Baba, I want to try this, you know. So he eventually told me, like, no, man, I don't want it to seem like nyakfaga, you know, but do this and that, speak to this person, do as what they say, you know, and then let's see what they have to say about your application. So I spoke to a guy by the name of Busisiwe.
He mentored me at some stage.
Serious?
It was Uveli who mentored me. Yeah, but Vusi and I am familiar with him.
So Vusi that time was the programs manager. He was in charge of shows. He was in charge of scheduling everything when it comes to programming.
All right, yeah.
So I spoke to him. Luckily that Sunday he was on air. So I joined him in the studio, told him off air, which I want to do this and that, you know. So when I joined in 2015, I was behind the scenes. I was learning everything. What is a link? What is this and that? What is an advert?
Now this is 2016.
2015, late 2015.
Okay, all right.
So I get a show 2016. I remember it was Saturday morning, 12 midnight till 3 in the morning.
Now it's your show, one man.
One man. I have this other guy who's Fiso. He was part of technical. He also had a show.
Okay.
On 3XN. So it was just the two of us, man. Fiso was like, man, do you? If you wanna do gossip, do you? You know. So that's how eventually it started, man. I don't even want to listen to my first show. It was whack.
Why?
It was whack. It was whack.
Do you think? Oh, but I mean, it's your first show, obviously. Yeah. But how's the feedback, at least, from the likes of Abu Smash?
Yeah.
And other people who are listening?
No, obviously, as time goes on, you get better, you know. But it was tough, man. It was tough, yo. So I used to love sleeping a lot. So imagine waking up, you need to go do a show at 12, you need to do a show at 3 a.m., you know. You feel like you're talking alone by that time.
I was about to ask that, good daughter, doing a graveyard slot.
Yeah.
Especially 12, 3 o'clock. How does it feel? Do you feel like, is there someone on Lalele, or you feel like
actually people listening, man? There's actually people listening, like radio in general, like nighttime radio. I think we are sleeping on it, but it has a huge audience, man.
People are listening. That's
where you have your great topics about umjolo and stuff, you know. So by that time, we used to have a phone where if someone calls in, it would ring on air.
Yeah.
If it keeps quiet, you keep worrying with you. Are these people listening, man? But yeah, they listen, man. But I've learned to Guti. There's different type of listeners. There's listeners that love you as a person. There's listeners who love you or that love the music. There's listeners who love the station as a whole.
Oh, yes.
And then there's listeners who just keep quiet. They don't
nothing.
Yes,
you know?
True. But they are listening, man.
Yes, true.
Do one thing that is wrong. Yeah, I know you did wrong here.
And then eventually, from Mugenza Lauma slots Lawa in the early hours of the morning, when did you now start to do? Like, because I know we break fast, yes, and like the top 30 chat show that I was invited on.
Yeah. So when I moved from 12 to 3 in the morning, I did Sundays 3 to 6 in the morning, of which I'm still doing now.
Sundays. Yeah.
And then Smash was like, "Ah, man, dude, since you are so parati EK, why don't you come through and learn how to produce?" I'm like, dude, I want to be on the microphone. This thing you produce, I don't want to do it, you know? He's like, no, come and learn. Come on Saturdays. My show is 12 to 3. I'm like, okay, cool, no problem. When I joined him...
Oh, Smash was doing the 12 to 3. Oh, now I get it now.
So he moved from breakfast by that time. And then he did the top 10.
Yes.
So he was alone.
All right, okay.
So when I got there, I was like, I'm going to be behind the scenes. I'm going to be that producer. No, you spoke too much. Or we just cut some advert, you know? But eventually he was like, no, I have this beautiful feature that I want to do. It's called What's Trending. So anything that was trending on social media, we'll talk about it exactly 2:30. Yo. So we used to have Joyce Masugu. Ne? Joyce Masugu, she does the afternoon drive.
All right.
So she used to do that feature, but ngizom back her up, you know, like with the after, like the sound effects.
Yes, yeah.
So we used to do that, and then
so now you were learning. Were you now in the production team now? You were no longer behind the mic.
I was still learning with it. I was still learning with this is how you produce. Because different shows, you don't produce the same.
All right.
The top 30, you need to be like quick with music.
Yes.
You know?
I noticed.
You need to be quick with music.
Because you there's it's kati, and then maybe you have to play 5 songs before the news. And you have to play ads.
Yes,
I remember.
So when we did that feature, it grew so much that Smash was like, no, you need to join me on air. I'm like, I'm the producer. I cannot be on air with you, you know? So that's how the co-hosting thing started.
All right, yeah. Now I also believe that you were famous before your Instagram days. Tell us about that, bro.
Not famous, but I used to. So there was a traditional group, a dance group. We used to do acting, dance, playing instruments. I used to play the marimba.
All right, okay, yes, yeah.
So this was before high school, in primary, I remember. So this is the reason why I brought you here. The food that we are about to eat.
All right, okay.
So shout out to Vusi, man, for it.
All right.
So yeah.
Yeah,
this is Vusi.
All right, okay. Shout out to you, Vusi. Hola.
Yeah, he's 1/3 of Barbeque assembly.
Okay,
man.
shout out to him. Yeah.
We do a lot of things together, man. A lot of events. But anyways, back to your question.
Yes, sir.
So there was a group called TAA, Tabo Arts Academy. We used to do acting and stuff, you know. So in 2011, it was after the World Cup. In 2011, we got a chance to go to Swaziland.
Oh, yes.
For a cultural exchange, you know. So there I met the prince. He was, I think he was the prince by then.
Swati himself.
Yeah.
Hey.
You know, traditional things, you know. Performed at the Southern Hemisphere's biggest stage, which is the States Theatre in Pretoria.
Tell us more about that. Nafika kanjani Swaziland, who organized it? Was it the TAA?
It was the coordinator. The
all right, okay, How old were you then?
I was 11. So just remember, if I'm saying 2012, 12. All right,
okay.
So it's like that, man. So this was way before radio, man.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But how is Swaziland, like the background as compared to South Africa?
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Swaziland is very traditional, man. Even though they love their English, even though they love the Western things, but they still stick to their roots, man.
They're very cultural.
I remember when I was there, most of the girls were like short hair. So when I asked Uguti, what's going on? But no, I think it's some traditional things. They explained to me and stuff.
Yes, yeah.
And I think every house has a picture of the king.
King Swati, yes. Yes, it has
so
his
many
face.
laws, man, that side. There's so many laws that side.
And you say you met him?
I met the prince, not the king. I met the
prince. Oh,
prince.
Not the king.
No, the prince.
Oh,
the prince.
yeah.
So there was this, I don't know what they call it, but where girls come through virgin girls, and then I think the king will pick.
Yeah. It's the, what do you call it? The reed, ne? Reed dance.
Yeah. So I was there, man.
So now Molav. How was it? Tell us about that.
Man, it was good because you get to meet. So by then, I was so passionate about cultural groups, right? You get to meet a lot of cultural groups. So yeah, that's it was great, man. Because I remember when we were busy touring that side, we went to the only TV station. That side.
Is it Swaziland TV?
Swazi TV.
Yeah, Swazi TV.
They had
yes.
like a morning live kind of vibe show.
Okay.
In the morning, so yeah.
So you guys were guests there.
We're guests, yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. You've been around, Elijah, at a very young age, my brother.
Man, I think if I can write a book, without spelling errors, and then we're cool.
You know what I really admire about you, and I was saying this to you earlier on, is that you discovered yourself at a very young age.
It's very important, man. It's very important. You asked me earlier on to inspire people.
Yes.
To come here and inspire people.
Yes.
But what I've noticed with our youth, you get someone who's in high school who's doing grade 11 or grade 10 and still doesn't know what they want in life.
Exactly.
They still don't know what their hobbies are.
Exactly. Exactly.
So with me, I'm so lucky, and I pushed myself to find out what I actually want in life.
So what can you say to that grade 11 learner who's watching now? Out in fact, what would you say to them to discover themselves?
I think they need to just explore, man. They need to experience themselves. Because most of the time, I feel like we live for other people. That's the biggest mistake that we do.
That's power right there.
Find out about yourself, what you like, what you don't like, what interests you, just find out about yourself. Earlier on I said, I'm curious. I like to ask the question why. And I know my mom used to say, hey, ungayenzi lokho, ungabheka isipili ebusuku. Ngibuza mina why. You understand? So I found out at an early age that I like to ask the question why. And how did that happen?
So what's bheka isipili ebusuku?
Yeah, what's big?
I
saw myself, man. I saw myself. So but to a young kid out there, man, you need to just discover yourself, man, at an early age. Right now we're living with TikTok. You find kids from China who are content creators, and I have like 500,000 followers on TikTok, and the but they're good at it, man.
It goes to the world.
You understand? So just find yourself, man. Like, that's the reason why we change courses. That's the reason why we change
careers.
Yeah, that's the reason why we get bored in careers. Not even change. We get bored.
And I know namabantu ayekup doctor ayekup music. But why you look about doctor or DJ?
Yeah.
And go to passion, that's where it lies.
It lies, you understand? So, just find yourself. Just discover yourself.
One thing, when I came to your show last year, one thing I discovered about you is that you and I have so many similarities.
Yeah.
And one thing I discovered was that we were both mentored by someone who's a legend in South Africa, a radio legend, the late Bob MABENA.
Yeah.
He mentored me in my career at some stage.
And you got into my workshop wakhe mahala, ne?
Let's not go there. Yes, that's how I met him.
Yeah.
I had this passion, man. I remember mangiyommeeta. But eventually I met him. And I guess this is where I am today because of him. But how did you meet Oprah Pop?
So my sister Umpone, she met him at Chillers, the old Chillers, not the new Chillers, the old Chillers. So he used to come and DJ,
before it was revamped and all of that.
Yeah.
Yes,
so they eventually had a chat, and then she told him about me.
So I believe he was here.
Yeah, he was here to play. I was still young, man. I was like, no clubs, I can
Yeah.
So when she told him about me, he was like, no, cool, no problem. Actually working on a workshop, and I'm also celebrating. I don't know how old he was turning, but he was also celebrating his birthday.
His Uprapop. All right, okay.
So he then eventually did the workshop, right? So on the workshop, I remember that day, I was like, yo, this is my first time in Jersey. I don't know this place. I'm scared. And yeah, like everything is just, yabo. I remember when I got in, so when we arrived at KFM, he was still working at Kai.
Oh, he was he doing the breakfast?
Yeah, he was still doing the
breakfast. Okay, E180.
Yeah,
yes, yeah.
So when I arrived, he was also driving in.
All right, okay.
So the workshop starts at 9.
Okay.
10 to 9, I'm there.
Okay.
I'm the first one to be there. Okay, sharp. So when we waited for everyone to get in, when we all settled, he was like, okay, I want everybody to stand up, introduce yourself one by one.
Oh, yeah. This is what he did to us as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
so he went around the room. He's like, oh, by the way, just to cut you, guys, this is the first person to arrive here. And he's young.
And he mentioned that. Yeah. But now, whilst we're talking about Uprapop, what is radio to you and how important is it?
Radio is life, man. Radio, that's the reason why we have topics that trigger you. That's the reason why we play music, because we know that 60% it involves music, man. Like everybody loves music.
That's
whether
true.
It's classic or whatever.
That's true.
And then I know that people like to say, no, we inform, we educate.
Yes, entertain.
Besides entertainment, besides informing, besides educating, we are here to develop people, man. We are here to inspire people.
Radio developed me personally. I would agree, Naleon.
You understand? So we are here to also inspire. We are also here to shape society. GPV, it's real, but how do we teach young kids, especially boys, this is how you treat a lady. You understand? Even now, I would hear a guy, Magashela Ucheri. I'm like, dude, that's not how we do things, man.
Plus, when
that's not how we do things, man. So radio teaches us that, man. Like radio, it's all about conversations. It's all about what's happening in our life. Yeah.
But I like it when you say radio is life.
Radio is life, man. If there's a problem, we talk about it on radio.
Yes.
Okay, people would say TV, but TV takes a long time to shoot, edit, and stuff. Radio is now. Now it's cheap. It's everything. Like it's there. It's accessible.
And we were talking with Upindi, who's the host of the Eastrand Podcast Files earlier on as well.
Yeah.
That with radio, it's very intimate. People are listening instead of watching.
Yeah.
Abanye abantu, when they watch, like now, people are watching us.
Yeah.
I'm sure Kona, someone who's not listening to us, but ubukele something, maybe ufunda leyo t-shirt yako, or upeka ama shades or something. Yes.
Yeah.
But with radio, it's intimate. It's the theater of the mind, because lalele, you need to create isithombe ukuthi Elijah unjani mara. And your mind now starts to work.
You know, when I often meet my listeners, I can't do Gaga. I thought maybe you're like this big guy who's fat and stuff, I'm like, no, you just confuse the enemy, sometimes.
And I'm sure you get a lot of people meet and they like, oh, so there we go.
Okay. I want you to taste this chicken.
All right,
and let me know what you think about it, because according to me, by far, this is the best chicken.
Plus, I'm a foodie, so
You're a foodie.
Lots and lots of appetite, bruh.
Yeah.
Yes, see.
Yeah.
Okay, no, we're gonna taste, no problem.
All right,
I'm gonna indulge. So Elijah, my brother, how do you prepare for your radio show?
Okay, so I often hear I'm a radio presenters, but they prepare immediately when they leave the studio, right? So it happens with everybody who works on radio.
Yes, I've heard that.
You're always thinking about content, man. Especially if you're a content producer, like you would see something or anywhere else, and then you think, how do I turn it into my own content?
All right.
So you constantly always
all right.
That's why I think they call us a journalist, because we're always on the phone. If something happens, we are quick on getting on the phone, or we're very observant. So I basically, whether I'm chilling at home or I'm watching something, so most of the content that I produce, it's about something that I've saw or read about,
all right,
or that I've heard about,
first-hand experience.
So I base my content around that. So if it's about DoubleM and you're on the news, Yeah, DoubleM is doing this and that. I would say, okay, come Saturday, people will be tired about DoubleM. How do I bring in a different angle into this content? You know.
All right. Yeah.
So
yeah.
yesterday, I remember when we were doing the show, we were talking about what was happening in Faranani, this long line and stuff. You know.
Okay.
So we were talking about why don't we go online as the youth? We are tech savvy. We know how technology works. Why don't we go online and just simply apply online? Island is fully line and stuff. And yeah, we were just talking about a lot of things when it comes to that what happened on June 16th.
Yes,
you know?
yeah.
So we saw that video with Elijah Phahlane.
Yeah.
But what is actually going on with this video? Were people being fed? Were people given water or at least coffee because it was cold that day? You know. So you think about those things when you're a content producer. This is what I want to have, and what kind of a guest can I have who can support this content?
Wow.
You know. So yeah, that's how I based my. But most of the content is about the music. So with the show Fusion Blast, it's about the top 30. But
yes, yeah.
I'm a guest. It's people who are in the industry, but like us.
All right,
You understand?
yeah.
With the Sunday show, because it's a 3 a.m. show, and you cannot bring a guest at 3 a.m. I would do pre-recorded interviews. With that show, I was focusing on, you know how Sunday music is? We always play your Whitney Houston, we always play your Mariah Carey and stuff.
Yeah.
With the Sunday edition, I wanted to have this vision of I want to bring in an artist who was there, but you forgot about them. When last did you hear about Lungi Naidu? When last did you hear about Sabelo Mthembu? When last did you hear about Usmanga, the guy who sang the song called Ukoko? Also upcoming artists. We had Osu Black Rose, we had JT The Voice. So I base it around an artist who okay, this is someone you can look out for. This is someone you forgot about. You know?
Nice.
So I love how it
I like the fusion. Leo yenza ukuthi local people like you brought me on your show. Abantu abalai local so that they can come and be a part of the show. Instead ukuthi siyososa outside.
You know, I'd listen to community radio sometimes. Bakhuluma AKA, bakhuluma ngozibani. I'm like, dude, talk about your Yokazi. Yokazi, we have our own Utos, we have Giftos, we have Shimi Boy, we have a lot of people who we can talk about, we can give airtime to. Why do I need to talk about someone about Zokulmangai on another radio station which is commercial?
That's so true.
You know?
Which is why we as the Eastrand Podcast Files as well, that's why we decided to shine the spot on people like you. Abantu like us, abantu abangaziwa ukuthi bakhona, because isikhathini esiningi sibheka iThembisa, iSoweto, iJozi.
And you know what they do? Lamakas lawa yenzani? Basibhekele bona ukuthi, you know, we have our own for Soweto, he's our own DJ. Let's profile him, let's build him up. Why can't we do that in our own cast? You know? Like we've got this problem. We have Elijah and DoubleM has the connections, or he has the word to say go, you know, and he can open doors for Elijah. But because we are born out to he's like, guy,
outsource someone.
So we've got that problem, man, and I'm grateful, Guti. Till today, I don't owe anyone. Guti, you know what? You actually are the key to my whole career.
Oh yes,
you understand?
Yeah.
Like with DJ Smash, he was like, no, go to management, talk to them, you know. So
and take it from there.
Yeah, he just gave me advice. Just go there, do it yourself, you know. So if you do it yourself, you know, which I know, I'm clean, right, and grand, sharp, you know. When I got in AK, I remember I used to take my own money. Save up for my workshop, man. Those things they're not even cheap, man. They're expensive. Traveling, there's food, and then you need to pay for your tickets. You know,
there's cost involved.
There's cost involved, man. So I used to save up money for those things, and you would stay the whole day learning about this thing, you know. I eventually made sure I venture into DJing as well. That thing when you start out it's also keep you mahal. Before it pays you, you know. Before it pays you.
I think that's the thing about our passions, when Elijah, is that that's why abazali bethu esikhathini esiningi banokuthi yo lento yakho kunini ukhipha imali uyenza kanti uyohola nini. But like it takes time. It's not something that happens overnight.
Yeah, I remember telling time and Ole, I don't mind staying at home until I'm even 40. You know, I know one day this career will change within 2 minutes.
Exactly.
And when it changes within that 2 minutes, so by him, I know. Bamba mama na imali balls or bamba in na day and I understand. So with this industry, it takes time, but the rewards, man, they're nice. Yes, they clean, they're good. You know?
You asked me this question on your show, and I'm gonna ask you the very same question on this show.
Why are you copying questions?
I wanna put this back to you.
Yeah.
You asked me the difference between radio and podcasts.
Yeah.
On your radio show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you today.
Yeah.
How do you feel about podcasts?
My own opinion, or maybe
your own opinion, of course.
You know, with podcasts, I think it's ikalo abantu who are so much passionate about this thing called radio, right?
That's so true.
And I think that is why people thought Uguti podcast will overtake radio because they push why in. No,
yes,
radio, you know.
Yes,
so, with you doing this, you eventually like meet TV and radio at the same time because of the visuals, right?
True. Yes.
But with podcasts, as I said, ikalo abantu who are passionate about radio, and yes, we see people who start their own podcasts, and then if the numbers are good and everything is good about it, then they eventually join radio.
Yes,
you know?
Yes.
But I always say this: radio will never die. Not because I'm in it, but radio will never die. There's something about radio that you can never take away from.
No, that's true.
TV came in the 90s or in the 80s.
80s
came. And people thought, this thing will overtake radio.
Yeah, yes.
Guess what?
It never did.
Radio means TV, you know? And they did that well with some of the programs that they were doing in COVID, you know? But I think what radio needs to do is give a platform for podcasts. Because podcast is a longer format of talk, right? There's no music.
No ads.
Maybe sometimes ads. But
yes, yeah.
But
yes, yeah.
It's strictly talk, man, you know? With us, radio, we've got a lot of things to do. We need to do this topic. We need to do this feature. We need to pay the bills. We need to make sure that we pay the people at Sambra with the music, you know? There's a lot of things involved with radio.
It's not just talking.
And people think people say that radio is boring because it's filtered and it's licensed and stuff and you can't say the words like F, you know. So with that, the reason why radio is being licensed and is so strict is we are operating on a spectrum, right? So with a microwave, kuna frequency a kipayo. With radio as well, in frequency 103.6. That's the frequency.
Yes,
right? Yes. Nobody can touch that. Even emergency services, whatever.
It's a frequency. Yeah, that's true.
So in every country, if you can follow the radio history and the politics, with every country, you have a frequency. You know, you 103.6 yang South Africa or yang Zimbabwe
as fine.
We understand. That's the reason why we are licensed and we are being filtered.
I like this guy.
Yeah.
I like this guy.
We can go on the whole day.
I like this guy. You want to touch a frequency? You know, I've always had this thing because I've always had this belief. Good, I'm gonna own my own radio station one day. But I've always noticed with mangatoli frequency.
It's tough, man.
I've always noticed with mangatoli frequency.
You know, EKFM, they started in 2002, if I'm not mistaken. Applying at ICASA, they want to
get that license. Yes.
When did they get it? 2012.
After so long,
man. It's tough to get you know, people think no, I'm gonna start my own radio station. You're gonna end up being online. You're gonna end up being online, man. Because ubago frequency like FM traditional. It's tough.
I've always said that we should mangatoli frequency done. But that's why I say I like you because You're the second person in Mzwayo akhuluma frequency. I think the first one was with DJ Sbu, if I'm not mistaken, or Tivo Touch. I cannot remember. But that's the key right there.
Yeah.
But now, Ndota, you're also a model. You're also a digital marketer.
Yeah.
Let's start about digital marketing. Tell us about that.
So digital marketing. So I used to work for Welcome's Place, which is Konalaikasi. So when I joined Welcome's Place, they wanted me to be a resident DJ. I was like, okay, cool, no problem.
When was that? What year was that?
This was in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm getting my year correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was in 2018. Because in 2019, we did the most, man. We did the most. So when I joined, I was like, guys, can you give me something more? There's something lacking here. What's lacking? But okay. We are lacking when it comes to social media. I'm like, okay, cool, give it to me. Let me run it. Let me run your page. Let me run your image. Let me run everything. By then, he started rebranding, push everything, you know. So with that place, man, we did a lot of things, and we were yet to do a lot of things.
So basically, you were handling their social media accounts.
As a start, I was running their social media pages.
Okay.
I used to sit down with the event organizers, the owner as well. With okay, guys, you have this event. How can this event make the owner and you as the organizer happy and like win in a success, you know? So I used to give out advice. Okay, with this event, how about we do this? How about we do that? Not knowing, actually, I'm actually good at this thing.
Yes.
I can see okay. Pitch me your idea about this event. I'll tell you, Guti, what do you need to do? No, this will not work, or this will work. You know. So that's what I like. I was so obsessed with his image. I used to tell Tawel, Guti. We call him Tawel.
Okay.
Daddy W.
All right. Okay.
So I always used to tell him, Guti, man, I'm so obsessed with your image. You need to keep a good, clean image on social media.
Yes. Yeah.
So that if someone was a forced or was a spread, we are born on social media, your Instagram page or whatever.
Yeah.
I wanna go there.
Yes. Yeah. All right. So that's where it started.
That's where it started, man. So with an event, if there's an event, a photography corner, I speak to that person. It's, dude, you don't do that. I'll shoot you. I'll shoot him there. Understand?
All right.
Like, I just want good, clean images so that
now you're doing the actual work.
People don't understand, Uguti. Brand imaging is very
important. Yeah.
They always say that as a person who DJ or whatever, a public figure, you are a walking billboard, right? So if bagboneka suphethe ingudu bazothi DoubleM angangitsheli ngayo angeke sayibukela ngale podcast yakhe, you understand? So brand imaging is very important.
Yeah, true.
It's very important.
And it goes a long way.
If there's a complaint online on our social media, if we didn't like this with this event, I was I would make sure I get to the bottom of that story, you know, so that the client is happy. That's the key.
Wow. Yeah. So with your DJing, what's your piano, hip hop, Afro jazz, Afro pop?
People don't know that I used to DJ hip hop.
Okay.
And I've got videos from like Dala. I used to play hip hop at first, and then I was like, let me go to R&B because there's a market.
Why did you decide?
This side, Eastrand, there's a market for R&B, man, especially on Sundays.
Yeah,
there's
that's
a market
true.
for it. But now it's becoming saturated. Like there's a lot of every week there's a new DJ with R&B. So I ventured into alternative, your lounge. Just versatile, man.
So if it sounds good, Elijah plays it.
Sounds good, man. Yeah. If it sounds good to my ear, I'll play it.
Now let's go back to radio a bit. Talking about you as a DJ, ngapho radio, because abantu abaningi sinokuthi masilaleli radio uzitshela ukuthi I'm listening to DJ Sbu, ngathi uyodlala le ingoma lezi, ngathi zikhethwe uye. How does it work? Can you explain to the listener or the viewer obukele manje ukuthi if you as Elijah, you are behind the mic, there's someone or compile music and so forth.
Not even compiling music, man. There's a lot that goes on. So it starts with the content producer, right? Because the music must fit with the content of the
sense.
day.
Makes sense, yeah.
And then there's also people who we call marketing people. I forgot the name, but people who are in marketing.
Yes, yeah.
So
yeah.
in a normal show, like in commercial radio stations, there's someone who's dedicated for your show.
Okay.
When it comes to marketing.
Okay.
Ne?
All right.
That person is responsible for getting brands, sponsorships.
Yes. Oh yeah. This show is sponsored by.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
So, but it all goes down to the type of content you guys sell.
Yeah. And the shot in music.
Yes. So we've got music compilers. We've got technical producers. We've got your marketers as well. And then we've got your sports, your news.
But who decides? Who decides ukuthi sizodlala le ngoma le sidlale le sidlale
le? That's the music department, man.
Now,
it's the music department.
Ngifuna ukuthi how do they choose? Because lo music man udlala ngisho you have to account to kusamro.
Yeah.
And so forth. Like there has to be a relationship. Ungakhona ukuthatha ingoma yomjito uqeda ukuzirecordela la eKasi.
No.
Uyithatha uyifaka uyidlala. Ukuthi antanga yazini yashisa le ngoma yakho.
No.
So untanga ubukele manje ozibuzayo ukuthi ingoma yami bangayidlala kanjani ku radio station.
So as an artist, first thing that you need to do is be registered with SAMRO.
Take your art seriously, basically.
Take your art seriously. But I've realized that when we tell artists, especially Ekas Uguti, are you registered, man? Where can we find your music online?
90% of the time it's no.
It's no, you know. Who's on a USB, who's on a CD? Okay, fine, we understand. But can I tell you something? And this, they won't even tell you. When music compilers, they won't tell you this. But music compilers will not upload your music on the system if you don't take yourself as a brand. Number one.
That's power right there.
People talk about canceling nowadays. That thing happens even in music. If you see what happened with R. Kelly. We had to stop playing his music.
Yes, but mute R. Kelly.
You need to take yourself as a brand, number one. Two, be accessible. Like, if you can find your music video on YouTube, that's great. If you can find you on social media, that's great. You know.
So I need to polish So I need to polish my social media account. Like, it's serious.
Take yourself serious, man. Like, it's draining to interview someone who you don't know or you haven't seen on social media. And I remember I posted this sometime, and then people were like, "No, what are you talking about? Should you talk to interview about?"
Yeah,
like, you don't understand where I'm coming from.
Yes, yeah.
Like, it's so easy for me to interview DoubleM or any other person because I've been watching you for like months and stuff. You know, it's okay. This is the type of person that DoubleM is, and this is what he pushes, right? And then sometimes it might be from when I meet you in person, it's okay, this DoubleM is this kind of person, you know? So it's very hard to, the reason why I'm saying you need to be accessible, it's very hard to interview someone you don't know.
Oh yeah. Even
if it's a good song, man. Even if it's a good song. Like, where do I even start with the questions, you know?
Yeah.
Where do I even start? Like, I just need to be, I need to feel comfortable interviewing you, you know? And ask you the relevant question. Because sometimes I might ask you a question, you might not like it.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not going to enjoy the interview.
Yeah.
Kanti angukwazi ukuthi okay, DoubleM doesn't know, doesn't like ukukhuluma ngomjolo or whatever. You understand?
And then now we throw it in.
Now I'm throwing it in. Hey, now it's a problem.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but I'm sure I'm out, like, artists going to take notes. Like, start serious. Before abanye abantu bazokuthatha serious.
Yeah. And to be accessible as well. Attend other people's events. That's where you meet people, you know? Like, the little things matter, man. Or you're not going to be part of the event. It doesn't mean anything. Just show up. Show up, man.
Show up.
And network. That event, network. Thank you. Networking, man, is very important.
No, that's what's up. Now, whilst we're talking about that, 2 days ago, like South Africa, we were celebrating Youth Day. 16 June, which is considered Youth Day in South Africa.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the state, say youth as compared to that of 1976? Do you think we have the drive, the ambition to change things? Like the youth of 1976? Because they never had social media.
Yeah.
But they would mobilize to fight against the system.
Yeah.
Tina, today we have social media. Everything is accessible to us. How do you feel about the state of youth today? As a young person who lives in South Africa.
Obviously, it has changed, but I suffer nakdala because what I've seen and what I've been told with the stories is 1976. The youth back then was having energy. Yo.
Yes.
Hey,
Yes.
energy, yo, too much. But with our youth, to a point where you asked me earlier on, Uguti, what are your thoughts about politics? I'm like, dude, I don't even entertain politics. Like, I don't even care about them. You know? And imagine how many other people, young people, think the same way. You know, like we feel, especially as youth, we feel like we don't matter anymore. We are just there, and we're gonna be babies until
sorry to disturb.
Umzali Magati, you'll forever be my child. That's how we feel.
No
now,
more
like,
cool being good.
you understand? Like, we're not being catered for, honestly.
But where do you think the problem lies? Are we ignorant as today's youth?
No, we're not ignorant. I think we gave up somehow. Because there's some people who I know. I've got a cousin who's into politics. This guy, like, he is like got energy for politics, you know. But most of us, we don't care about it anymore. We feel like we are neglected, and we feel like the older generation is scared with these people are coming with something new, you know. I always tell people, especially in the workspace, listen to the kids.
Yes, yeah, that's true.
Now that we've got TikTok challenges, we've got this and that, this and that, you know, of which you can't relate to now. But the world is like
it's moving
it's
with
spinning.
those things.
It's spinning.
Talking about that, say hypothetically speaking, you were the president of the country.
Yeah.
Namhlanje, ungayitshintsha yokuqala to cater for the youth or change the mindset le oyishoyo ukuthi it seems like ngathi we gave up, etc. Say you were the president. Yini yokuqala ongayishintsha?
I would have chicken every day, firstly. Sorry. So that chicken was nice, man. Sorry. But I'll have chicken every day, like every day.
From Barbeque assembly?
Yeah, it has to come. But anyway, what I would change, or I think, give the youth the opportunity, number one. I'm not saying the older people must move away from everything. But we cannot have a minister of youth who is older and not even talk to the youth, you know. So I think having what I'll do, I would have a specific department of the youth.
I like that.
Who would focus on issues? You understand?
I like that.
Because we are the majority. We're the future of the country.
That's so true,
right? I think that's what I actually want to do. Like just open up a specific department
youth
on it.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. Tell us about modeling, Dot. You're a model as well.
Yeah.
Not.
It's not the modeling of many talents. It's not the modeling of being on the runway. No. I started this in 2021. Yeah. So I just gone photo shoots.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember there was one that I did. Busisiwe, we were while GPV was still starting up.
Okay.
So we had a GPV photo shoot. I was like, hey, I actually like this, you know. So I just
was it part of the radio station?
No, that's my side hustle.
All right, okay.
That's my side hustle. So I was like, you know what, I like this. Let me do this. I actually wanna do this kind of modeling, you know. If there's a face painting or whatever, you know, photography is an art as well, right?
Yes.
So I was like, let me do this. It's not the modeling.
To keep on my 6-pack.
Nobody will see my 1-pack.
But how often do you do that? Like, do you do it for magazines?
Yeah.
How often do you?
Whenever I get time, man. Like I and the opportunity allows. I'm like, let's do it. Let's do this shoot. It's fine. Yeah.
I believe you did a Coca-Cola advert. Was it an advert or was it a campaign? Something having to do with the Coca-Cola?
Was it for radio or?
I read
some things I forget.
I read it on your profile. Was
it for? No, it wasn't for Coca. It wasn't for Coca-Cola.
Have you done TV yet?
In terms of acting or presenting?
Presenting, acting, whatever the case may be.
I'm trying to get into it, you know. I've been trying with it, you know. With Uvusi, we're trying this thing. We're doing, when we do events, we have a podcast kind of thing, but it's more of a, like a Seli Matunzi Tugu Tugu kind of vibe, you know?
All right.
Yeah,
Okay,
we'll try that. EKFM, recently we started with it. We started something called EKFM TV.
Okay.
It's still, we're still building
in the build-up stages.
Yeah, I'm still trying it. But live TV, like your SABCs, nah, not yet.
All right,
Not yet. But I'd love to do it.
Now, Elijah, my brother,
Yeah.
what's still to come? Because I see that there's a lot on your plate.
Yeah. No, actually, people don't know that I'm actually currently studying for radio.
Oh, that's interesting.
This is through Verts.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been keeping it underground for a bit, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, immediately when I graduate, man.
Wow.
Ziyakhala.
Ndoda ngathi ukuradio
Ziyakhala.
ngakufundela yona kushuthi you wanna vele equip yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's happening. Obviously doing more gigs. There's a gig that I got last year, which is called the Soul Train. I don't know if you know about it.
Yes, I'm familiar with Soul Train. Yeah. Well, you got a gig there.
It's a residency, man. Oh, lapa kumnandi, man. Oh, lapa, it's nice, man.
No, that's what's up.
It's nice.
Songs
man.
with mang check vele
You'll see it. The poster is out.
The poster, your name is there as well.
Everything is there, you know. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, going back to voiceovers, people don't know that I've been doing a bit of ads.
Yeah.
So I'm going back to that as well. And I actually want to join this because I love podcasts, man.
Ah, man, this is your home.
I want to start a podcast as well. But
all right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still fixing some few things.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I didn't realize that I actually need a team.
Yes.
And
I want to teaming on.
yeah, I actually need this, you know.
Yes, there's a team.
I actually need a team who's ready to work.
Yes, true.
You know, so yeah, that's what I'm working on.
And how do you draw your inspiration, my brother? Are you more of a religious person, spiritual person? Do you like spending time in nature?
Mostly, man.
Because it's fun,
Okay, spending time in nature, it's money. You need to spend money, right? You need to go to the cave yourself. But we don't have that money kind of right now, right? So I spend most of the time in my room.
All right.
People say I pray a lot, but maybe it's like those silent prayers. But I actually draw inspirations from interviews, man.
All right. Yes.
I've learned that you never judge a person before you know them.
Oh,
you
yes.
know? You might see DoubleM is this kind of person, judging from your own perspective. But it's ummamele on a 3-hour interview, and where he comes from.
That's so true.
Then you understand, because, okay, actually, I'm not alone in this thing, you know? Now he's been through this, you know?
And it changes your perspective about the person.
It changes everything, man. So, just to answer your question, man, through interviews, so... If there's someone who I really look up to in the industry, I just watch the interview or just listen to it, and yeah, man, and they've really helped me a lot and a lot of things, man. Like people, what they actually go through this fame thing, life. It's too much for them. Depression and everything. How do they deal with that? You know. So yeah, that's.
And I know this question is gonna put you on the spot, but I'm gonna throw it to you.
Yeah.
There's many radio stations, big commercial radio stations in South Africa, etc., or even abroad.
Yeah.
Which one of the radio stations officer was born
now or maybe
in the near future? Not necessarily now.
Okay.
Coming in driver up and I switch on and I'm like, this is Elijah.
I really love what Metro is doing now, man. Like Metro is so powerful. I remember there was a day I wrote on my status, Ngati, the contract as a Metro is very powerful because it can make or break you. And I've seen people fall from that.
Oh, yeah. Yes, yeah.
But yeah, Metro is, oh man, it's the coolest brand.
It's
man. It's cool. Yeah,
it's
like, it's cool, man. Like imagine, hi, I'm DoubleM for Metro, and the M stands for Metro as well. Like, you know, those kind of things. You know?
I like this guy, I'm afraid.
You know? But Metro, man.
Yes,
Metro,
Elijah,
like,
yes.
Everyone close to me knows, like, Metro. That's like...
And your voice, man, and you know, I've been to your show, bruh. Before I got into your show, I sat on the other side. And I was listening to you guys. I remember when I got in, Smash someone asked me, was it you or Rusmesh? Yo, gents, when I'm listening on the other side, it sounded different. But when I was inside, it was just like this. Because, like, you guys were free-spirited. And Nami, I was like, yo, maybe I need to sound this professional. I didn't know how to.
Man,
but I was me. Because, the confusion was when, as I was listening to you guys, Joba Manglele reception, I was like, yo, these guys are so professional. So now I need to adjust. But now I get it when you say that.
Just be you, man. Just be DoubleM. Just be comfortable. As long as you're comfortable,
and that's it.
You're gonna see wonders, man. Like that's how it is. I mentioned earlier on, Uguti, I love seeing people in one room laughing. That's basically what I actually do. When it comes
Which is what you did on the show the other day.
Yeah,
Now, Elijah, before we wrap things up, my brother, what's the 3 things that people don't know about you?
Zaphuma ke manje.
That's Zaphuma song.
So I'm born in April, ne?
Same like me.
Yeah. I don't know if you are short-tempered, but I'm short-tempered. That's one thing.
You know, I've been working on that. Yes, I am, but recently I've been working on that to have a bigger heart.
Yeah, you know, I like to care about other people.
Are you strict?
I am because I noticed with my abashana bam, hey, I'm strict on them.
Strict to me.
Yeah, I'm strict on them. You know?
All right, okay.
They know mang figantly. They're like, Malume he doesn't want nonsense. But I give them that love, you know.
Yes,
we laugh, we joke, we play around, you know.
Yeah.
But I just don't want nonsense. and the last one.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is gonna be tough. I'm very loving, man.
Oh, yeah.
Very loving. And very honest. If I don't like you,
you don't.
I can't pretend, you know? So yeah. I think those 3 things will help you.
and how can people find you on social media? How can they follow you?
Yeah.
Find you?
Okay. So on Twitter and Instagram, it's @Elijah_Phahlane. And then on Facebook, Elijah Phahlane straight, and then as well as on TikTok, it's Elijah_Phahlane. So that's where people can find me right now.
And on your radio shows.
So right now, that's if they don't change in April.
Yes. Hopefully not.
They can change, man. But
but it's gonna be next year because now at least it's mid-year.
Yeah, but the talks start now, you know.
Oh right. Oh yeah.
So currently right now I'm doing Saturdays 12 to 3 in the afternoon.
Which was a pleasure of being a guest.
Yeah, and you had a good time, right?
I enjoyed myself.
And then on Sundays I do 3 to 6 in the morning.
All right. Okay. Elijah, it's been great, man. You know, I really admire you.
Thank you so much. Man.
I'm a fan. You really inspire. No. I'm /friend, but like I look up to you, bro.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I remember even when I first met you, the energy we shared.
Yeah.
I remember we even put this to the universe. Uguti, DoubleM, you're gonna be on my show.
Yeah.
And I also said, Ndota, you're gonna be on my slot at the podcast. Yeah, no. No, we just met through the universe.
Yeah.
And we shared the same energy and everything. But thank you.
No, man, I love what you do with your podcast. I can't remember who recommended me your podcast. And I've been watching it from season 1. And I've been following it. Before I contacted you,
yes,
I remember also talking to Ukuku.
Yes, shout outs to Ukuku. She's our host as well. Shout outs to her. Yes.
So I've been watching for a long time, man.
Yeah.
And keep doing what you do.
Yeah.
And who knows, man.
That's what impressed me about you. You told me about the episodes that you watched, and
I do my research.
You deciphered this thing. I was like, this guy was watching.
I do my
even
research.
The story MABENA, you already knew it.
I do my research, and I never forget. That's
and I was like, wow, this guy.
I do my research, and with every guest that I have, I do my proper research.
Oh, yeah.
And then if I need to brief DJ Smash about it, I will tell him, okay, this is the reason why we're interviewing this person. Please go follow on social media, check out what's happening. Yeah. This is what radio is about. We research.
Yes. Wow.
You know?
That's what Prapop taught us as well. Prep.
Yeah.
Elijah, thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much. All the best with the podcast.
Thanks, bro. Thanks.
May you grow. And with your team, I hope they understand your vision.
Yes.
And they're going to grow with you together.
Yes.
Because we want DoubleM. You're gonna need a team.
No man is an island, especially Gule field there.
Yeah. That's what I've learned. Because you never work alone.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the best, man. I love your podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you. I don't remember watching a podcast as a Kasi, which is so clean.
That's what everyone keeps saying about us. That at least we try. Yeah. No, thanks. Thanks. Yo.
Number one.
I'm humbled.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, trailblazer of the day, Bafethu Nimzwil. And as well, Elijah Phahlane, catch him on EKFM, Naguama social media accounts work. That's where you can find him. And from myself and the rest of the team, it's a big thank you for watching, and see you on the next episode here on the Eastrand Podcast Files. God bless.